Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome into Golden Blue Dude. I'm Joey. I'm going to be with you for a little while. I thought maybe we'd just come on and talk some football while some games are going on. Maybe watch a couple of games together. So I will drop the StreamYard link if anybody wants to join me. Come in. Let's talk about some past games today, or talk about some games coming up tonight, or any games that are going on right now. So I will go ahead and give you some scores real quick of some games that have went on today. We'll go over that really quick. Let me get all of my pinned scores out of my way on my phone. So, anybody catch the games last night? UCLA and Washington. UCLA beat Washington 40-32. A game that no one that we talked about or we had in our stream predicted. And BYU, of course, took down Utah State on Thursday night, 38-26. Earlier, Mississippi beat Kentucky 22-19. Now, Kentucky was my pick to finish in the SEC East to be an upset away from being number one in the SEC East. I said they needed to upset Georgia. Well, they lost to Mississippi today, 22-19, and that was that. I really thought they was going. Man, they got all the way down to the 5-yard line, then got a penalty, had to go back, and then had a turnover. So that's a bad situation. But Kentucky should have won that game. They beat themselves at the end of that game. Purdue beat Minnesota 20-10. Nobody seen that coming because Minnesota is probably one of the best teams in the West. So, and Purdue beat them 20-10. Kansas State all over Texas Tech 37-28. That game was 14-0 before I even looked up, I believe. And Michigan beat Iowa 27-14. I said take the under in that game. The over under was 42.5, I believe. So yeah, we did good. And TCU absolutely is all over Oklahoma right now, 55-24. That game's in delay. And I don't know why I missed what happened. So I don't know if they're in delay because of weather or what. And let's see, Utah at half is beating Oregon State 21-13. So that's a good close game. Let's see what else we've got here. Let me pin that score. So we're talking about the Baylor Oklahoma State game. Baylor's leading 3-0 right now. Oklahoma State's got the ball, and it's 4th and 1 on the 15. So we'll have to see if they can get a first down. Wake Forest is trailing Florida State right now 7-0. Anybody know what the weather is down there? I know everybody was concerned about weather, and I said it's probably going to be 80 degrees and sunny. That was back on Wednesday or Thursday. I said that. So I have no idea what the weather is down in Tallahassee today. Alabama and Arkansas are at 0 each with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Alabama's like a 17.5-point favorite in that game. Made no sense to me. And Rutgers and Ohio State. Rutgers is tied with Ohio State at 7 with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. So do we expect that to keep up? I doubt it. So Northwestern and Penn State are no score in that game. 8:25 left at the first quarter. And Texas A&M, Mississippi State's not kicked off yet. They kick off at 4. So that's a little rundown of games that's going on and games that are still being played right now. Like I say, I dropped the StreamYard link if anybody would like to join in with me, and we'll talk a little bit of football. Golden Blue Dude will be streaming the West Virginia game later. He will be on, and he will be streaming the West Virginia game later. Right now, it's just me. And here's my problem is we are getting some rain and storms here in West Virginia. I have satellite. So I may not have a very good signal, number one. I may not even be getting out. I might be sitting there talking to myself. I have no idea. And then on top of that, I could lose my service at any time. So if this stream goes down, just know that I lost my service, and I'll come back if it comes back. But the storms tend to knock a satellite out. Oklahoma State has scored 7-3 over Baylor right now. Florida State is still up 7-0 on Wake Forest. Kansas State and Texas A&M is over. Of course, Kansas State won 37-28. I wondered who would win that game because Kansas State big win last week over Oklahoma, and Texas Tech big win over Texas. Both of them on emotional highs. I wondered if they'd fall apart. Both teams actually looked pretty good. Kansas State beat them 37-28 though. Alabama scored on Arkansas with 7 minutes 41 seconds to go in the first quarter, and it's 7-0. And like I said, Rutgers and Ohio State are tied up at 7. So why don't somebody come in the stream and join me here for a little while? Anyone want to join me? Like I say, Golden Voodoo will be streaming the West Virginia game later, so he will be here with you. And so I don't know if we'll just keep this same stream going and he'll just join us here, or if he'll start a new stream. But yeah, I'd like for somebody to come in and join me. Now, there were some surprising games today. I'll tell you, some real surprises. I'm going to go through here again and talk about this real quick. Biggest surprise to me last night, UCLA completely dominated Washington. Now, the score looks closer than that game really was. UCLA won 40-32 over Washington. Washington's defense looked horrible. They did not look like their defensive line was even trying. The ball would be snapped. UCLA would barely give them a push, and they would just like fall over. I swear that's what it looked like. So, UCLA was able to just put up points galore. Big shock to me, Mississippi beating Kentucky 22-19. Kentucky kind of beat herself there to get into that game, like I had said earlier. And another big shocker, Purdue upsets today. And love for somebody to come in and talk to me about that. So let's go into, I'm trying to see what's going on here. Going into this stream here so I can talk to you guys in chat. I'm having trouble seeing chat in StreamYard. Stream here so I can talk to you. Okay. Now I'm in here. So now I can see this the chat. Of course, there's nobody chatting. Oh, okay. So nobody chatting. Well, there's not the chat there. Come on in and join me. Let's talk a little bit about these college football games, about the upsets. Games going on right now. Unfortunately, I don't have a game on my TV in here. My wife and I were moving furniture around. This is my new office area. I've got a TV here, but I don't have it hooked up yet. So, and I forgot to hook it up for today. So the only TV I have is in the living room, and I'm in my office, so I can't watch these games. But that's okay. I've got them all up on my phone. I could watch one on my phone. Why don't we do that? I'll tell you what I'll do. I will stream one. Let's go ahead and stream the Oklahoma State Baylor game. What do y'all say? I'll let y'all decide. Oklahoma Forest, Florida State, or Alabama, Arkansas, Utah, Oregon State. Who y'all want me to stream and let's talk about and watch together? We've also got Penn State, Nebraska. I was thinking the Baylor Oklahoma State game would probably be the best one. Let me bring that one up. Like I say, anybody wants to join me here in the StreamYard, come on in. Let's talk some college football. So we've got Wake Forest, Florida State, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. How about this one? Iowa State and Kansas. Let's see if Kansas can keep it up. What do you say, guys? Let's see if Kansas can keep it up.
7-yard pickup.
This would just be amazing if they could.
So here comes Chase Gilbert. He's a freshman out of Oklahoma.
There's nothing. 48 seconds in the first quarter.
Perfect so far. 5 of 5.
And I would say it looks like we're going to try a field goal here.
His career long thus far has been 39.
Let's see what he gets here. See if he gets it. Yeah, I'm buffering. I hit the upright and buffered. Yeah, Texas Christian is absolutely beating the crap out of Oklahoma. That game's not even been close at all, and really shocking to me. Oklahoma, are they the Texas of last year? Remember last year Texas was rolling along doing really good. Then they lost the game and then lost 6 in a row. They let that same game just keep beating them. Oklahoma last week, big loss to Kansas State. Are they going to let that dictate the rest of their season? Is Oklahoma going to be the one that gets down this year? That would be kind of shocking. Everyone's talking about how good of a coach Brent Venables is. Let's see if he can get Oklahoma to straighten up and play some football. Because right now, they look pretty bad against TCU. All right, so let me find. I'm trying to get my. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my pins right here. Okay. All right, now. Right, yeah, Jay Grizzy. I seen that Quinn Ewers not playing today. So Card will be in the game. That should be a that should help West Virginia out a lot. Although I'll have to say, Quinn Ewers could have been rusty. So might be rather that we had Quinn Ewers. He could have been rusty. He could have been timid. You got somebody coming around the edge after you, and you've been hurt already. You could be timid. Uh, yeah, GBD's not had good picks this week, has he? Yeah, he's been down a little bit. I've not done too bad. Um, we still have to see. There's still a lot of games to be played. So, but I'm looking. Anybody watching the Rutgers Ohio State game? I'm just looking at the score. And it's 7-7. I'm wondering, is Rutgers looking pretty good? There's 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. I really figured with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, Ohio State would be winning 21-0. Um, yeah, Ewers versus Daniels would have been a good game. That's for sure. Texas has so much talent at receiver. I'm really worried about our secondary today. But in saying that, we've got a really good defensive line. If we can get some pressure on Card, maybe he throws some bad passes. Maybe we can pick off a couple of them bad passes. But that means we got to get some pressure on him. Okay, so Iowa State and Kansas coming back on. Iowa State just tried a field goal and missed it. It hit the upright, bounced off. Um, yeah, UCLA played great. They really did. They really did. They just stomped Washington. All right, so Kansas got the ball, doing some trickery, running back through the ball, and they're up to the 29-yard line. So I'm hoping that I'm pulling for Kansas, guys. Nothing against Oklahoma State at all. Iowa State at all, but I just I love a Cinderella story. So I want to see Kansas win as many as they possibly can. I'd like to see them be 6-0 going to Norman. Of course, Oklahoma's going to lose today, it looks like, and they'll be down. So, um, Oklahoma State, yeah, they're winning 7-3 over Baylor right now. So, we have to see how that goes. Let's see, we got. Um, panicking because CSU is listening to a triple option team. Who are they playing? um, no, they aren't, Jason. Kansas isn't a joke. That's for sure. Kansas really isn't a joke. I mean, they've got such a powerful offense. You know, I wish some of it equated to their defense a little bit more. But so this could be a shootout game today between Iowa State and Kansas. But I don't know. I mean, Iowa State's got a pretty good defense. Somebody said on ESPN earlier that today's defense will be the best defense that Kansas will face all year. I kind of disagree. They faced West Virginia. West Virginia's not a slouch defense by any means. So, Kansas took it to us pretty good. So they have a pretty good shot of taking it to Iowa State as well. Post the StreamYard link in here one more time. Like I say, anybody wants to come on in with me. Love to have you in here with me. Let's see. American Voice is regarded. I think we match up well with the Horns down. We both have good offenses, and I expect the shootout probably come down to Leg for the win. Yeah, that would. Hey, I would be all right. I mean, I trust Casey Leg. He's a great kicker. He's got the best name in college football. Best name for a kicker, that's for sure, in college football. So, let's see. West Virginia is a great position, but yeah, I still can't feel for our team. Yeah, I understand. I think West Virginia is in a great position, but how? I don't know how will they fare tonight? I'm calling for West Virginia to win the game, but I'm biased as well. So I mean, I would always predict West Virginia to win a game. I wouldn't care if we was playing Alabama. Actually, I do care. I would pick us to lose. But with Texas, here's what I'm looking at: is we win against Texas. We're 6-5 against Texas all time. We are 4-2 in Austin. So we're the only team in the Big 12 with a winning record against Texas, and then the only one with a winning record in Austin for sure. So one of the only teams in the country with a winning record in Austin, not just in the Big 12. So, we have their number in Austin. Will that translate and bring us a win? Maybe not. It probably has nothing to do with anything, but still nice to think about. Let's see. This week is the reason I love when college football gets in the conference schedule. That's why I'm so advocate for conference realignment, more conference games. Yeah, I guess so. I just think they're. I don't know. I like Power 5 conferences. I don't like. Yeah, here's what I problem. I don't want West Virginia playing Oregon. Okay, it's hard enough to go to a road game. You know, it's hard to travel from West Virginia to Iowa. It's hard to travel from West Virginia to Texas. So if you bring in somebody from the Pac-12, that's a long way. So I'm okay if the Big 12 can expand and get some ACC teams, or if the ACC expands and takes maybe a West Virginia. But I'm not okay with bringing in a bunch of Pac-12 teams and all of a sudden we're stretched even further west. I'm not real happy about that one. All right. All right, let's see. But now is the Oklahoma game is delayed? Am I correct? It's still delayed. You're saying Oklahoma lost to TCU. Last time I looked, there was still 10 or 12 minutes to go in the game, and it got delayed or something. John, am I right? Is it still being delayed? I wonder about that. So Alabama looks like Alabama scored again, 14-0. Oh, Paxton says that game is over. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just I say I am, Lorenzo. I don't like all this cross country traveling. I mean, I know it's not hard on the players. I realize they're just taking a plane flight and going and getting off the plane, playing a game, coming back. But it is kind of hard on them. They're jet lagged. They got classes. But then at the same time, when you're a fan, if West Virginia is playing Virginia Tech or North Carolina or Wake Forest, somebody, easy trip. Excuse me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see what I miss. Oh, and that reminds me. I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget it. How much bias was there in that Oklahoma game? Man, I'm serious. I wrote this down, so let me go up here. So there was a pass interference, clearly a pass interference. The guy got there early. Not only did he get there early, he launched. The OU player launched and hit the receiver and knocked him down before the ball ever got there. They didn't call pass interference. They didn't call targeting. You can review targeting. They didn't. Nobody call it. I mean, he launched. He left his feet, and then like the next time he turned around, um, they said that TCU called for a fair catch. On the kickoff, they said TCU called for a fair catch. TCU didn't call for a fair catch. I mean, the man just ran over to the ball, caught it. He was wide open down the field. I mean, he had a good return going on. And they blew the whistles and called him back and said, you called for a fair catch. I mean, there needs to be some investigation into that. I don't know if anybody else got to see that or not. Yeah, it reminded me of a Pac-12 game. It really did, because the Pac-12 officials have been horrible this year. And that game right there, the Big 12 officials really blew it quite a bit. Even though TCU finally won, it was still just some bias on Oklahoma, for Oklahoma. That's how I felt. So it's a pre-pro prep. Big 12 refs just suck. I'm used to it. Yep. All those refs called fair catch to when it was never made, right? Yeah. 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 I mean, I'm glad you've seen that too, Jason. But yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous. It was some stupid, it was 3 or 4 bad calls right in a row, all in favor of Oklahoma. Every call was in favor of Oklahoma. Oh, yeah. TCU went for it, 4th and 1. Landed, the tip of the ball was beyond that little yellow imaginary line they have on TV. So it should have been measured. They didn't measure it. They did do a review to see if the spot was right. They said the spot was right, but they still didn't measure it. Why didn't they measure that ball? I mean, it looked to me like he might have it by the tip of the football, but they didn't measure it. Okay, let's see. Ohio State scored again, 14-7 over Rutgers. Of course, Alabama 14-0 over Arkansas. Wake Forest has tied it up with Florida State 7-7. End of the first quarter, Oklahoma State 7, Baylor 3, and Texas A&M and Mississippi are scoreless right now. And of course, I'm watching the Kansas Iowa State game here. It's 0-0. Iowa State had a chance to make a field goal, and it hit the upright and bounced off. Kansas State football, they're down to the 42. It's hard for me to see it. I think they're on the 42. Let's see. Caught it to 42, down to the 37. So Kansas moving the ball pretty good. Down to 37 now. That's a gain of, what, 5? Second down. Also, Oklahoma. TCU was so far ahead times, but really that was a far more of a beatdown than the score shows. That's for sure. Linda says ACC officials always been horrible. Wake Forest just got away with the targeting call. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I'll take your word for it. Fire Scott Satterfield. And Anthony, what you see and fire somebody else will go to? I'll tell you who to fire. Fire Dana Holgerson. I mean, lost to Tulane last night. Lost to Texas Tech. Who else? He lost to Kansas. He's lost three games this year with a team that's supposed to have been what a top 10 team, one of the best teams. Of course, I called that one too. If everybody, so my Kansas and Iowa State game is buffering quite a bit. Like I said, it's raining and storming here. I have satellite internet, so I have no idea how good my service is. But as soon as I get some internet back, but with the rain can knock my satellite out. Yeah, Ogre suck. I like that, Jason. Ogre suck. I believe, and then I froze and started buffering. Let's see if he. I mean, I froze. No, he got down to the 6 yard line though. That's good. Good run by Kansas. I tell you, Kansas is a lot better people are. Man, come on. Okay. So that's what I was telling you. My internet's going to go on and off because of the rain. Knock me off. I apologize. Back on with you now. Can everyone hear me okay? Am I really back? I don't know that I am really back. I believe I am. So Kansas has scored. So they're up 7-0 right now. Um, yeah, I'm happy with the success too, Krista. Um, hey, can everyone hear me okay? Am I coming through okay? Like I say, with this storm coming through, I'm possibly going to lose it some more. Golden Blue Jays going to stream the West Virginia game live later, though. I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and just end this stream, and we'll come back at you later, okay? When this storm passes over. I apologize, everyone. We will come back though. See you later.